Welcome to the Vulnerability School podcast. I am your host, Jenna, and this is one of my best friends, Josh. We've been friends, we've known each other since high school, and we have just been on kind of a similar timeline, but just so connected always, except for in high school. Well, we really connected when we both went through like our spiritual journeys.
Yeah.
I remember seeing you at the gym at Vasa, and you had like the cambo burns on your arm. And I'm like, what is that? And you're like, oh, I injected frog venom into my arm. And it made me throw up, and I'm like, oh my God. You know?
I like this guy.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, we can be friends. And then I don't even know how we started.
Yeah, I think social media, just like the more we started posting about stuff that like meant something to us, it was like, wait a second. Like, I love your perspective. Because I feel like that's the beauty of social media is you get to see like inner perspective.
Yeah.
Someone shares something, you're like, wait, oh yeah, dude, I love that too.
Yeah, totally.
And it's like, why are we not hanging out and like chatting more?
Yeah. And now it's like you're one of my go-to people for everything, for sure. Like, I think you understand me more than most people do, for sure. Like, I can say all my weird woo-woo witchy stuff to you, and you're like, yeah, I get it.
I get that, yeah. I know. When someone doesn't get it, I'm like, that's a bummer.
Yeah. And I'm shocked that you haven't been on the podcast yet. So it's exciting. Yeah, perfect.
And beautiful that it gets to be here, honestly.
Yeah. And how it happened is I kind of talked about in the last episode that I've been on this like celibacy journey and dating myself. And like that's been my era. And then I walk into a coffee shop, JJ's, the other day. And Josh walks in, barefoot, of course.
As always.
And we start talking. And then how did we get into it? Do you remember?
I can't even remember. Honestly, I don't even know how all of our conversations begin. It's just we'll be in it, and I'm like, yeah, I love this.
Yeah,
it's great.
Yeah, and I remember you just saying something about like I'm in this era of like dating myself, but then we got into it about how a lot of people think dating yourself is like going to the coffee shop and getting yourself a matcha and taking yourself on a solo trip. But the more that I have gone into this whole dating myself journey, I've realized like the art of dating yourself is treating it just like you would a romantic relationship. Yeah. Sitting with yourself in hard conversations, and there's just so much to it.
Yeah, and to your point, like the idea of dating yourself being like a trip, like a solo trip, or getting yourself matcha, if you did that with a partner, it would not mean you have a great relationship. It would be like, no, that's like a kind act. That's like something. And that's good. It's
so
not,
surface level.
Yeah, but it's
so
like
surface level.
You're not going to have something deeper. Like people can take each other on trips and buy nice clothes and this and that. But at like the human level, you'll still feel unseen, unwanted, unloved. And it's like, okay, that was nice that you bought me that. But like, do you care about my feelings? Do you care about what I'm going through? Do you care about what I believe right now?
Wow, that's such a good point. I haven't thought about it in that way. That's so true. Because like, yeah, if I was in a relationship and all we did was go to the coffee shop and not really confront our demons and have the hard conversations and feel understood by them, it wouldn't be a relationship.
No, I don't even know what it would be. It wouldn't even be like a friendship.
Yeah.
Like for me, I'm like, what is this? That's what I would say. I'd be like, what is this? All we do is this. Like, can we go deeper? Can we like talk about more than just coffee?
Yeah.
And what's going on in life and this and this and this. And like the hard conversations and sitting with yourself and all of that is necessary.
Yeah.
For dating yourself and for having a deep relationship with anyone, including yourself. Like if you want an amazing relationship, it's like you got to do the same thing that you'd have to do with yourself to build a relationship with yourself.
Yeah. Like something I was thinking about on my drive here is like you have to have compassion for yourself the way that you would a partner. Like if something comes up that's uncomfortable in your relationship, like you would give them grace. And like you also have to give that same grace to yourself. And it's so sad that we don't do that. But then we expect someone to do that for us. Or we expect ourselves to be able to do that with someone else when we haven't created the space to do that within ourselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And the moment you do it within yourself, it becomes a light years easier to do it with a partner. Because you're like, oh, I know how this feels. And building that relationship with yourself is probably the hardest thing. It's so much easier being loving towards a partner. Like everyone's like, oh my gosh, yeah, once I meet someone, I'll just love them and this and this. And that I'm a victim of that. And treating yourself that same way, the moment someone walks in the door, it's like, I know what loving you looks like because I've loved myself. I know what like having compassion for you and grace and patience looks like, because I was patient and compassionate with myself.
Yes.
And if you can do that with yourself, you will have like the best relationships with people, friends, partners, you name it. It's going to be beautiful.
Yeah, I had an experience the other day. I did a mushroom trip by myself, and I called my friend Sophie, and I was telling her all about it on the phone. And her boyfriend walked in, and she's like, "Hey, Jenna, like, sorry, I got to go right now." Da, da, da. Like, immediately just cut me off and was like, "I got to go." And I was like, holy shit, like, I don't have anyone in my life that I would just drop everything for like that. And I'm like, I don't even do that for myself. Like, how many times have I been in a conversation and I know I need to go somewhere and I know I need to do something literally before coming here. That's why I was late. And I'm not just like, oh, I have a date with Jenna. I made plans with myself, so I got to go. Like, I don't give myself that same importance that I would like a partner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I think that's where our conversation started, was for me, the self-abandonment of like, I'll put everything and everyone above myself. And yeah, when the time comes to like push and shove, it's like, oh, someone else is demanding time, but Josh needs this. And I'm like, well, he's fine. I'm good. Like, and that's, for me, that's been my life pattern. I'm good. And then I just abandon. And I mentioned to you at the coffee shop, like if I was me and my relationship to myself was a separate entity, I would have broken up with me forever ago. I would have been like, dude, you never make time for me. You literally put everyone else first. You never show me the love that I deserve. You treat my body like crap. It would be like a physically abusive relationship. And I would have broken up with me. And honestly, like now sitting where I'm sitting, I'm like, I need to break up with old Josh that treated me that way. And like, I'm only going to date the new version that's like, hey, your body deserves love. You deserve time. Like, it's okay to say no to other people.
Yeah.
You get to show yourself love. Like, go read, go take a bath, go do you.
Yeah.
Like,
because you would 100% do that for a partner. Like,
yeah.
Hey, I think you've been really stressed. Like, you need to have a day for yourself. Like, I bought you all this stuff to have a little spa day.
Yeah. Oh my
know?
gosh. And it's so easy to do that.
Or I got you a massage. Yeah.
Yeah. But then it's like, oh, well, what about you? And it's like, oh no, I'm good. I don't need a massage. I'm good. Like, this is all about you. And now I'm like, no, I do need a massage. Like, my body hurts. And
no, that's so beautiful. That's so beautiful.
Yeah. And even in yoga, like, it's been cool. Anytime we're in like not child's pose, like the pose where you like bring your legs in and you just hold yourself, really just hug yourself. I've just, for the last like 6 or so months, I've practiced just like kissing my body. But especially last week, I've been like, I know how I like kiss my partner's body. And for some people that might seem so weird to like kiss your own body the way you'd kiss a partner's body. But it's like, dude, your body is literally like, it's brought you here. It's gone through so much. Why would you not show it that same amount of love of like, God, I'm so grateful for you. Like, and you're beautiful and you deserve to be loved by me. And like, you deserve to be touched and massaged and kissed and adored and just viewed through a perspective of like, you're amazing.
Yeah.
And to some people, that's like a foreign concept. It's like, well, my body's just my body. Why would I do that? And it's like, no, your body's like this beautiful vessel. Like it's literally just like a car. You're going to just drive this is what I've done for my entire life, is like beat the shit out of my cars, dents, scrapes, dings, all these things. And I'm just like, it's fine. It's fine. And then there's some people who are obsessed with taking care of their car. And there's like every little detail. They're like, I'm going to wipe out like the dashboard and every little part of the rim. And I'm going to give it the best gas and the best oil and this and this and this. And I'm like, oh, that's beautiful. Why am I not doing that with my body? Why am I not giving it the best food? Anytime I would like go eat out at some place that wasn't as healthy, I'd be like, would I feed this to my partner? And I'm like, no, I'd actually be kind of like embarrassed to feed that to my partner.
Yeah.
Why am I eating that? That was a huge realization for me, where I was like, oh God, I just need to view myself as kind of like a separate person.
Yeah.
Sometimes, just to remember to date myself in that way.
Well, this is so interesting. I had like kind of a similar experience. So like growing up Mormon, masturbation is like very taboo, especially as a girl. Like guys, it's like, oh yeah, every guy masturbates and watches porn, but like a girl, it's like, no. And I had an experience, vulnerability is cool, so I just share everything on here, but that I feel comfortable with. Like I had an experience when I was 4 where I was sexually abused. And so that idea of exploring my own body from when I was 4, it was like, no, my body was made for someone else. Like like since I was 4, I've had that belief instilled in me. You know what I mean? And so in a recent journey that I did, I just was having these feelings of, because like people are like, oh, masturbation's a way to connect with yourself. But because that happened to me when I was 4, that's something I've never in my life explored. And then when I was 24, I think I've told you this, I went to therapy, or I think I was 26. And I said to my therapist, like, because I'm Mormon and I'm a virgin and I'm not having sex and I don't want to do that with anyone, do you think it'd be okay for me to like explore myself sexually? And she said, have I told you this?
No.
She said, if you start masturbating, you'll turn lesbian. She literally said that to me.
What?
My therapist.
She said you're going to turn lesbian?
Yes. So
That's
course.
crazy. I haven't turned gay once
Yeah,
all the times I've masturbated.
Crazy.
I know. That's
She
wild.
told me that's what happens when people start masturbating, especially women, you'll turn lesbian. And
Did
but
she
now
have
I'm
that
thinking,
experience?
now I'm thinking maybe she was projecting a little bit.
Yeah, she's
But-
like, I started masturbating and I started having these thoughts
Yeah.
about women. And I'm like, maybe you are just lesbian.
Yes.
Like,
And because of that experience, it pushed me even further away from masturbation because
Yeah.
especially growing up Mormon, I'm like, that's terrifying. If I was a lesbian, you know? Now I've like accepted, like, I know I'm not, but if I was, I would totally accept myself and be fine with it.
Oh,
but because she did that, it pushed me further away from this idea of connecting with myself. And while I was in this journey, I was just thinking through this, like the idea of masturbation. And then I was thinking of like, wow, like I can have sex or an intimate relationship with a partner that doesn't treat me well, and they can touch my body, and that's totally fine. But I don't want to touch my body. I think it's gross to touch my portal of my body, you know, this sacred thing that creates life. Like I'm so disconnected from it, but someone that is even more disconnected from themselves, I allow them to do those things with me. Like that's actually crazy, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And it gave me this whole new perspective of like, if anyone has access to this portal, it should be me. For sure. It's my fucking portal, you know? And so along with like the dating yourself thing, we're both kind of on this journey of like celibacy and of sexual transmutation.
Yeah.
Which is so cool.
Oh,
and
yeah.
so exciting.
It's such a rare thing to like align with someone where it's like most people are like, oh, yeah, I'm just giving it out like candy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, yeah, I remember doing that. But that's like terrifying now.
And I think that everyone has their phases. Like I definitely,
sure.
I remember hearing people say like, oh, I'm celibate. And I'd be like, why?
Yeah, I'm like, you're saying no to sex? Sex is awesome.
Yeah,
What are you
I'm
doing?
like, oh, I would never want to like limit, like not allow myself to do that. And not that I'm going to be like so strict and I'm going on this 2-year celibacy journey. But I think it's in maybe not even like full celibacy, but just like protecting that energy is so much more important to me.
Yeah.
And then I learned about this concept of sexual transmutation, where it's like when you feel those sexual feelings, you like imagine that energy going up through your body and into your creative energy, like out through your hands. And is that kind of your take on it?
Yeah, for me, it's interesting because like I've always, and that's like such a beautiful way to view it. I've always just viewed it as like this power, like this energy's coming up and I've like given it all of this power for so long. And for me, my perspective was like just taking the power back and realizing that like I am in control. And like, if I have those feelings come up, I literally don't have to give them any energy. I don't have to feed that fire. I can just observe it, whether breathing through it or not. Like, I mean, regardless, I feel like breathing through anything is the best thing you can do. But just observing it, being like, yeah, I'm feeling that. That's wild. But like,
And of course, like that's great. My body can feel that. That's amazing.
yeah, it's an honor. Like
Yeah.
there are people that don't feel any of that. They're very disconnected from their body and they don't get to feel any sexual energy. And it's like sexual energy is potent and it's magical and it's strong. I mean, it's literally trying to get you to like create life.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, transmuting it into something else and just letting that energy like carry you somewhere else where you're not, and even just giving it out to people, or even for me, like masturbating for a long time, it was like, I'm just giving my energy away. I have it all come up and I could store it and use it. And instead it's like, I'm going to give it to this sock. I'm going to give it to this toilet. Like, and in hindsight, I'm like, oh, that's so sad. Like, I wish I would have kept all of that for me. Like, I needed it. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. It's like, and also sexual energy is like, it can be so sacred.
Yeah.
And so to just give it to anyone.
And I think it's so healing to hear this from your perspective, because I've always been someone that's very, very, very sensitive to like people watching pornography, you know?
Yeah.
I've dated a lot of guys like ex-Mormons Mormons that were addicted to pornography, and it's just like the way they viewed me really hurt me. And you hear a lot of guys say like, oh, every guy watches pornography and and it's actually so wild because I have like my magic partner list that we've talked about, and I have every single specific thing that I want in a future partner. And I wrote down, like 5 days before Burning Man, I want someone that doesn't watch pornography and practices semen retention, which semen retention, can you just kind of explain for people that don't know?
Yeah, it's just like not orgasming, because the moment you orgasm, it is like energy being just like given out. And so like retaining semen is just retaining energy and being like, until I find someone that I want to give this to and like build something. Because it also is energy that builds. So like it can create life, it can create relationship. And so the more you retain it and wait to give it to someone special, it means more too. Just on like a emotional, energetic level of like, I only gave this to you. I don't give this to like literally anyone. I don't give this to a sock. I don't give this to my toilet. I don't give this to women on the street that give me energy that are cute. It is only for you. It's like a present at Christmas. If you gave it to everyone and then said, this is a special present, everyone would be like, no, it's not. You literally gave it to everyone.
Yes, literally.
And it's like, no, I literally haven't given this to anyone. And it's only for you.
Yeah.
It means so much, and it carries so much love.
And like even giving it to someone else, and also for yourself. Like, hey, I feel all this and I want to just go give it away, but I'm going to keep it for myself, and I'm going to put it into my work, into my art, into my creativity, because I care about myself and I know that this is powerful. You know?
Oh, yeah, that's beautiful.
And I wrote this list 5 days before Burning Man, and I wrote something so specific, like I said, like, doesn't watch porn and practices semen retention.
Yeah.
You are one of the only guys I know that knows about that. And I didn't even know you knew about that or like practiced that until after Burning Man. But at Burning Man, I ended up meeting someone, and he literally said word for word, like, oh yeah, I don't watch pornography and I practice semen retention. And that, number one, was like huge for me on manifestation. Like, is that my person? I don't know. But like the fact that I wrote that down 5 days before for my magic partner list, and then someone, like, the universe showed me like, oh, men do practice this. Like, this really is a thing. And people like are so passionate about this like you are, you know? Yeah. And then to hear your perspective is so cool, because you grew up Mormon, you grew up having a pornography addiction, and you're very open about, and which I think is incredible. And the reason people are addicted a lot of times is because they're not open about it, right? Yeah. And then just to hear that like you practice that and how powerful it's been in your life is so cool, you know? Especially like for men to practice that is so beautiful. And like we hear all these stories of how, no, every guy watches pornography, or like every guy masturbates all the time and you have to do this. You've actually been practicing the opposite, which isn't easy. Like,
no, it's literally the hardest thing. But to your point, like when guys are like, well, everyone watches it, and women are like, well, how am I supposed to find a guy that doesn't watch porn? Yeah. Every guy watches it. I'm like, if you're looking for an easy relationship that's quick and like not hard to find, then yeah, go for a guy that watches porn. Guys should never shame themselves for watching porn. But at the end of the day, it's like, if you want to accomplish beautiful things and have beautiful relationships, you have to do the hardest thing. And what's the hardest thing? Not giving in to a desire and an urge that, for guys who watch porn, it's like, oh, well, you know, the urge just like drove me to it. And I was like, I get that. Sometimes it just feels like it takes over and you're not in the driver's seat anymore. And then you go like, do it. And that's any drug. It's literally, it could be Netflix. You're feeling overwhelmed and you just immediately pick up the remote, turn on the TV, pick a show, and then zone out. And you could do that with food. You go buy ice cream and just start eating it to numb out from the feelings. And for porn, it's like, can you just sit with the uncomfort? And do you want something greater than this?
Yes.
Like, and a lot of guys, and me included, when I was watching porn, I was like, I don't know what a relationship would look like without porn. I don't know how much more present I'd be, how much more attracted I'd be. I don't know. And so in those moments, I was like, well, it doesn't affect me because that's all I knew. And now that I'm post-porn and I haven't watched porn for 3 years and I had a relationship with no porn, I was like, that was light years better. I was so much more present, so much more loving and attentive to her and her body and her needs, and so much more able to love and just show up and be present with her. And my mind, like, when I was watching porn, I would go to the gym and I'd look at other girls and I'd be like, oof, like, why am I like so pulled to like go do something with them or fantasize about them? And then post porn, I'd go to the gym and I'm like, I'd see someone that is generally attractive. And I'd be like, I can see that you're attractive, but I have zero desire to think about
I feel
you.
like you're able to view them as a soul and not just a body. Like,
Yeah,
you
because
know?
porn is like, that's a hot body that like can get me off. And when you're not watching porn, it's like, oh no, they're a beautiful person, but like my heart is with someone else. I'm not interested in them because I don't have a desire to just get off.
Yeah.
I have a desire to love and like build something and be present. And porn pulls you from presence. It pulls you from building something. And it's literally just like, to your point about semen retention, it's just giving and giving to like, to what?
Literally.
Something not good, that's for sure.
And have you read the book, The War of Art?
No.
Okay. People get confused because there's a book called The Art of War. Wait, The Art of War. But this is
I
The War
have the
of
art of art. I have the art of war.
Yeah,
and I thought I was getting the war of art.
Everyone thinks I'm obsessed with this book about war, but this book is all about resistance.
Yeah.
And how resistance is like the biggest self-sabotaging thing that exists, truly. Because resistance to creativity, resistance to actual love, resistance to actually loving yourself, resistance to waking up in the morning, like that is what holds us back from achieving our dreams and becoming who we actually want to become.
Yeah.
And in this book, it talks about how sex can become a form of resistance. It's just escaping yourself. And it talks about how the most successful people in the world have learned how to control their sexual energy.
Yeah.
And it literally is like life force. If we can control our sexual energy, and okay, for me, it's different than you. Because for me, growing up, I was taught being sexy is shameful. I was taught that touching yourself and loving your body in those ways is disgusting and is like, yeah, gross. So for me, something that I've been trying to tap into is like, no, I can be sexy. I can be sexual and I can be sexy. And that's such a beautiful part of me that I need to control, because before I was letting these negative, shameful thoughts control the situation instead.
Yeah.
Whereas like I can be sexy for myself, you know, and it
Yeah.
doesn't have to be shameful. It can be beautiful. And I think the more that I've been able to control my sexual energy in a healthy way, the more that I've been able to have control over my life in general. Do you feel that way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause, like, to your point about resistance, it's like the moment you just sit with urges of like, go, for me, and I can only speak for me, but like anyone else who experiences this will understand, I used women as a drug. And so like anytime I started feeling uncomfortable feelings, I would resist, and it'd be like, dude, you know what can numb out? Going and connecting with someone and giving them your energy, and it'll get you what you want, which is connection and touch and love. And it was like, that wasn't actual love. I was getting like, I don't know, it feels like inauthentic versions of what I actually wanted, which was genuine like presence and to be seen.
And then you leave feeling empty.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, I numbed out for a sec, and then I still don't feel good leaving this situation, and then these feelings keep coming back, and I still have to keep like numbing out and putting a Band-Aid on and being like, oh my gosh. And the moment I stopped resisting, it was just like, oh yeah, I want to go do that, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to sit with these feelings.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to go give away my energy and repeat that pattern to the point of dating yourself. Like, I deserve better than that. I deserve better than going and like numbing out, because I would never tell a friend to go do that. I would never tell them to go numb out by connecting with someone. It's like, hey, you're feeling really hard feelings. Have you tried drugs? Have you tried hooking up with someone? Have you tried watching Netflix to escape? That would be absurd to tell a friend. And for me, I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to do that. And these feelings that are coming up, if I resist them, it'll actually make it worse.
Always. It always makes
yeah. And
any
then,
situation, resistance makes it worse.
and the moment you sit with you, you're like, that wasn't actually as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
You always play it up that it's going to be this awful thing that's going to kill you. And then you're like, it's just a feeling. I'm literally just feeling a feeling. Mm-hmm. And it will pass, especially if I feel it and I don't resist, it will pass. And I'll be good.
And it is not as scary as we think it is. It's way scarier to keep resisting and digging yourself into this hole that's darker and darker and darker.
Yeah.
Than to just sit with it and like accept it.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's the hard thing. Everyone like is so used to just numbing out, and we've kind of normalized it as a society. It's like, oh, dude, you're having a hard day. Go binge watch Netflix and eat a bunch of crappy food.
Yeah.
And it's like, why would we tell people to do that? Like, obviously, unless we don't know that there's something better, like sitting with it, don't go numb out, and don't let people convince you that like just because everyone else is doing it, it's something that I should just like be okay with.
Yeah.
When people would be like, well, every guy watches porn, I'm like, I don't want to watch porn. Just because every other guy does, it doesn't mean I want to, and it doesn't mean that I'm okay with that life. Like deep down, I was like, no, even though it felt like porn for so long controlled me, I was like, I want nothing more than to rid my life of porn.
And I think it's so important that both of us are understanding of like, wow, thank God we actually trusted our gut. Like I've always had this feeling of like, oh, I want to be with someone that does not watch porn. And it seemed, especially growing up more where everyone is addicted because you can't watch it, you can't watch it, you can't watch it. That seemed so unachievable. But now I'm like, no, like that is possible. And I had that desire in my heart because it can be real, you know? And for you too, like you had the desire to like not watch it at all. And now you literally don't watch it at all. Like I wish your younger self could know.
Yeah, because he, to like your point, he had never met someone who had never watched or who had stopped watching porn. I would meet people and they're like, oh, I've like maybe seen it like once or twice or this or that. And I was like, you don't understand. Like I watched it like 2 to 3 times a day.
Yeah.
And thank God it didn't progress into something like darker. It was just like me just constantly wanting to numb, to not believe that someone could actually break out of it because I'd never met someone. Like if younger me could meet me now, I'd be like, dude, porn doesn't have to control your life. I know that you want something deeper. I know you just want to be held and loved and seen and like feel like you belong just because of who you are. And you don't have to go watch porn. Like there's other options. There's other paths that you can walk that lead to. Yeah, like if he would have known that, I would have made so many different choices. But everyone was just like, porn, that's like what we do.
Yeah.
And like it's cool. I'm like, I'm not gonna shame people for watching porn, but watching porn is not cool.
Yeah.
At all. Like when people are like, yeah.
And you can control it. Like it's just an excuse. You can control anything. It is an addiction. Just like people stop smoking weed, stop drinking, stop doing all these things. Like you literally can. And that porn is just as toxic as all those other things.
Yeah.
As much as people will say it's not.
It's honestly, and it's worse because it's involving like turning humans and women and men into objects for my pleasure, for me to get off and numb out.
Like that's actually crazy.
Yeah, like cigarettes, drugs, I'm like, that doesn't hurt another person indirectly or like objectify them, but porn does. Porn is like, I had a realization at the end of when I was watching porn. I was watching and I was like, this is someone's daughter. And I just pictured like 5-year-old daughter wanting to be a princess, and now she's here being paid to have sex on camera. And sex to me at that point, and even more so now, is so sacred that I'm like, no one should be watching each other have sex.
Yeah.
It should be a deeply personal, intimate, sacred thing between you and one other person. And for most people that haven't experienced that, they're like, well, no, like you can have sex with everyone and this and that. And I'm like, I know. I've had sex with a lot of people. It's so much more beautiful and loving. And it literally feels like ecstasy when it's literally sacred and it's between you and another person and no one else gets it. It's literally just like, hey, it's me and you. The world doesn't get to see. No one else gets to see.
Like, and you hear about people like treating sex in like such a sacred way to the point of like they manifest during sex. Have you heard of that?
In what way?
That they like, when they like orgasm, they both are like kind of manifesting in that time because it's such a sacred time. Like you're so connected to like this like portal. It's like such a, I don't know, like the veil opens a little bit, you know?
Yeah. It's a level of presence that like really does, like, it's magic. Yeah. Like when people talk about magic, that people are like, magic's not real. I'm like, once you have present sacred sex with someone, you're like, magic is real.
Yeah, I haven't experienced this, but I believe you.
You will. You will, and it is the most beautiful thing. And to your point about manifestation, like in that moment, that entire moment, it feels like all things can happen and are happening, and like you don't feel separate from anything. It literally feels like a mushroom journey where you're like, I am one with love and this person and everything else, and like everything else ceases to exist. Like the level of presence is unreal.
And this, I really just feel like that's the benefit from learning how to control all of this. Yeah. Like that's your fucking reward, you know? Yeah. The universe wants to reward you in that way and make it feel like so sacred and so safe and so beautiful.
Yeah. Because if I was allowed to go watch porn and do drugs and numb out and still get this thing, it's literally like parenthood 101. It's like, hey, if you want this good thing over here, you have to do this hard thing. You got to go clean the toilet in the bathroom. You don't, like, any kid who's extremely spoiled was like, oh, I don't have to, I can still go do this and get the car and get this and get the trip and have all this nice stuff. And good parents know that it's like, no, you need to go through something hard to appreciate the beauty. And it's not like it's earning it, but it's, I don't even know the way I would describe this, but it's really just like the spectrum of, you get a swing. Like, you do a hard thing and life balances it out with a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
And if you're always going for the middle ground of easy and comfortable, the spectrum of you swinging to the other side is this tiny little blip of like, yeah, I had this like good moment. And so for me, I'm like, dude, bring on the hard stuff. Like, I'll sit with the hardest feelings if it means I get to go experience that with myself and with a partner, numb out and watch porn, or sit with my feelings and experience a presence with myself that is so beautiful.
Yeah.
And then, don't go hook up with other girls, retain your steam, retain your energy. And on the flip side of it, one day experience ecstasy and true bliss with a partner and true presence and true love. I'm like, oh yeah, I would pay that price all day.
Yeah.
It's just breaks my heart that old me like didn't realize that, because he would have been like, oh, that's the price I have to pay?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to try to pay that.
Okay, this is something that I've been thinking of as we've been talking about this. I recently had to cut off a relationship, and it was a very toxic relationship. And the idea of cutting off the relationship felt so heavy for me. But then I had this thought one day that like, it is not going to feel harder than how it felt being in the relationship.
Yeah.
Like it only is going to go up from here. Literally, it can only go up. And I feel like that's the same exact thing like with pornography and like this sexual energy. Anytime I've had sex that wasn't very meaningful, which majority of any intimate relationship I've had, it wasn't like that meaningful, because I feel like we weren't both on that same level, I just felt like shit after. So now every time I feel those feelings, I'm like, oh, I would rather not feel like shit again. So I'm just going to save this all for me and continue on this little journey for myself.
Yeah.
Wait, I want to talk with you about the idea of becoming your own magic partner and like dating yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, wait, do you
good.
have a list? Have you written a list?
Yeah. And honestly, it's like, there's so many things on the list, which a lot of people were like, that's too much.
Yes,
like,
same.
You're too, not even shallow. It's like, you need to just settle. And I was like, why would I settle? And to the point of the list, for me, the moment I wrote it down, I was like, am I those things?
Yes, totally.
Like, because at the end of the day, I'm going to attract someone who is where I'm at energetically.
And haven't you seen that play out in your life? I feel like I attract people that every time I start dating someone, I'm like, oh, you really came into my life. We are on the same wavelength here.
Every time. I, like right now in my life, I would never attract and date the women that I dated 8 years ago.
Never.
I have never met someone that I was pulled to and they were pulled to me that resembles a woman from 8 years ago.
Yeah.
They're all unique to like right now.
Yeah. And to your point that people like think, oh, like maybe you're delusional, like you're expecting too much. I would rather be single than not be with someone that doesn't match this energy here that I've written down. I would rather be single because I know it's not going to make me my best and highest self, because I think we have these desires because I do practice these things. And I'm not perfect in the way I want to be, but everything I've written down on mine is things that I admire and I practice, or I'm trying to practice,
Yeah.
So this is my little list. I wrote this like in June, and then I've just been adding to it. And then I've told you this, but I write notes to my future partner like every day. Like if I just have little thoughts and like, or if something makes me think of them. Something I've experienced too, I'm so passionate about, and you've experienced this too, we talked about this the other night, is like I have felt the energy of my future partner.
Yeah.
Like I had this experience in ketamine where I saw this orbit of white light. And in ketamine, it was so clear to me, like, this resembles the love you've experienced, a familiar love, this white orbit. And then above it had this gold orbit. And it was like, this is the higher love. This is the higher love. And this is the love that you deserve. This is the love that you're seeking. And I just realized every relationship I've ever been has been this familiar, toxic love that from childhood wounds, I've been so attracted to,
Yeah.
And the higher love, I was like, holy shit, no, that is achievable for me. And if I tell myself it's not achievable, then it's not. But if I believe in the fucking magic, it's real and it will happen.
Yeah. It literally comes down to your beliefs.
Yeah.
Do you believe you can attract it and find it and have that type of relationship? If yes, you will eventually have it. If no, you won't have it. You'll settle for something less. And you'll be like, this is all that I deserve.
One of my number one things in a future partner that I want is someone that believes in the magic.
Yeah,
you know, if you don't believe in the magic, like, get out of my life. I don't want
I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Just like doom and gloom?
Yeah.
Because magic is like, no.
Like, they're a little too
the world's in a
logical,
rough
and
spot. I'm like, no, magic is real.
Yeah.
Love is real. Like, don't underestimate. But people do over and over.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that sucks. Because
It's
life
so
is
true.
so much better when you believe in magic.
Mm-hmm. And you literally have a choice. You can believe in it or not believe in it. You can't prove either to be true.
Yeah.
So why not choose the more optimistic, exciting option? You know?
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, why would you want to believe in the negative side that like this life is this dreadful, like sad, depressing life, or believe that like, you know, what if magic was real? What would it mean for me and for everyone else? It'd be like, maybe I could experience my dream job. Maybe I could experience my dream relationship. Maybe I could achieve my dream body and feel the way I want to feel. Because everyone dreams. We literally, as kids, all we did was dream.
And that's
I
so
wanna be this.
beautiful.
Yeah, and I'm like, keep dreaming. Like, as a kid, that's when magic is so real. And when people are like, well, kids, you know, that's an unrealistic goal to be an astronaut or to be this. And I'm like,
That's 'cause
but
you
is
decided.
it? Yeah, I'm like, someone became an astronaut. So it's clearly not unrealistic.
And I really believe the people that make it in the world make it for what what they believe is making it are the ones that just delusionally believed in themselves.
Yeah.
You know?
They were like, I'm gonna do
I've
this.
realized the more I delusionally believe in myself, the more like crazy shit just plays out in my life. And the more that I notice it too. Like, I just made a note page in my phone called Signs the Universe Knows Me. And I just wrote like all these little things that I'm like, that was a glitch in the matrix. Like, the universe is showing me that it knows me and that it loves me and that things are working out for me. But if I'm focusing on the negative, I'm going to be proven too that the universe doesn't know me and nothing works out for me if I choose to believe that, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Because I believed that my entire life growing up. And it was like bad things would happen. And I was like, see, it took good things from me. And like, I'm being cursed by God and the universe. And now my perspective, when those same things still happen in some regard, and then I see it from a more beautiful, magical perspective, and I'm like, oh, that cleared out that person to make room for something more beautiful. Yeah. And something that actually like aligns with me more now that I'm growing. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, thank you for that. Like, thank you, universe, for bringing this hard thing and clearing this person or this thing out of my life.
Everything that happens in my life now, I'm just trying to accept. I'm just trusting. I'm like, instead of living my life in fear, like we've both done our entire lives. Yeah. Possibly from growing up in a God-fearing religion. That same decision we have every single day to live in fear, we also have the same opportunity to live in trust. Even on my way here, I was thinking, I'm going to view every single situation in my life now as an opportunity. Everything, you know? Oh, someone toxic from my past reaches out. Okay, I'm going to view this as an opportunity. This is an opportunity for me to choose myself again or for me to learn the lesson the hard way again and again and again, you know? Something I feel like we're both doing right now is choosing the hard so we can have an easier future. Does that make sense? You know, because you can choose the easy now and then have a harder future. Yeah. And I feel like we've both shifted in our little timelines to choose the harder thing, which is like, keeping our sexual energy, becoming our own dream partner. It's like, I always used to imagine someone coming to save me. And coming to save me, like someone that's going to make you slow down and someone that's going to give you the time to take care of yourself and someone that's going to save me financially. And one of my biggest things right now is making my own money and becoming financially stable for myself, because my entire life, I've just imagined someone coming and saving me. You know? Yeah. But like on my list right here, I have someone that's financially stable. And it just clicked for me one day that I was like, oh shit, like I have to become my own magic partner. And part of that is becoming financially stable, working through these blocks in my mind and like paying off my debt and becoming that person for me. I can't expect that from someone else if I can't do that for myself. Yeah, because
you'll repeat that same pattern with a partner of being like financially irresponsible.
And I don't want to bring that into them. I don't want to bring a negative mindset about money to someone that has a positive mindset about money. I don't want to do that because I will bring them down. They'll bring me up, but I'm still going to be bringing them down. You know what I mean? And not that I expect myself to be perfect, but I do expect myself to have a way, like a shift, you know?
Yeah, because you want to have that, and you always flip the script, and it's like, okay, if my partner had this same mindset, would I be pulled or repelled from it?
Oh, I
like,
would be repelled.
Oh, I'm like, ooh.
If they were terrified of money like I was, I'd be like, oh, this isn't going to work, you know?
Yeah, or sometimes they do come in to help teach you. Like, I know in my last relationship, we both taught each other certain things, which obviously that's the beauty of relationships.
Yeah.
Is like, okay, being around someone who is financially abundant and believes in themselves and has a good relationship with money can start to rewrite the script for me. So it's like, I also don't have to be perfect.
Yeah.
I just have to be trying.
Yeah,
I have to
it's
like
so
be
true.
working towards and know what I want to live, like the life I want to live. I want to live a life where I believe in myself. I feel capable. I feel confident. I have a good relationship with money, and I feel abundant. Like, if I'm not there, that doesn't mean I'm not worthy of partnership or love, but at least I'm aware and I'm trying.
Yeah.
And that's really all we can do. And also know what you want, or else you open the door to anything. It's like,
Literally.
if
That is
someone was
such
like,
a
hey,
good
what
point.
food do you want? You're like, anything. It'd be like, okay, here's like octopus. You're like, well, I don't want that. I'm like, you literally told me anything.
Yeah. To your point, I think a big part of becoming your magic partner and becoming the person that you want is knowing yourself.
Yeah.
Knowing exactly what you want. Because if you don't know yourself and if you don't know exactly what you want, how is the universe going to provide exactly what you want? You know?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
You literally have to make it clear to the universe. The universe is literally just like, it feels like it's constantly asking, like,
Yes.
hey, what do you want?
And
then,
also show me that you actually want it. You know?
because for a long time I was like, oh my gosh, I want a divine partnership. And I was so sure that I wanted it. And then to your point about show me you want it, it was like, okay, here's a woman that doesn't align with that. And I would say yes. And it'd be like, okay, well, you said you wanted this, but then you said yes to this. I'm confused now. It seems like you want this, so I'm going to keep sending in this. And then I get frustrated because I'm like, why do I keep having like these women come into my life that like don't reflect or represent my like a divine partner? And then it was like, oh yeah, I'm abandoning myself and telling the universe, I don't really want divine partnership. I'm kind of afraid of divine partnership. I don't fully believe I deserve it.
Yeah.
Or I've like earned it. And that's been a core wound of mine, is that I have to earn this by like always accomplishing the next thing, healing the next thing, and this and this and this. And for me, it's like, no, I just need to make it clear what I want and then say no to everything that's not that. And then also work on myself just in the meantime to be like, do you reflect that partner? Like, you want someone who eats healthy? It's like, okay, do your best to eat healthy. Okay, you want someone who moves their body? Do your best to go move your body. You want someone who is like open and fun and playful? Like, bring in that energy. Like, don't be afraid to just like start doing and living the way that, you know, those traits that you want to attract in a partner. You don't have to be the best at all of them. Everyone's so caught up in like, I have to be perfect. I'm like, that's just another a wound, like telling us that we're not worthy.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, I'm worthy. I just haven't told the universe what I want and then shown it that I'm actually wanting it.
And something that's really come up for me is realizing that the more me I become and the more honest I am with myself and the more I have boundaries, people fall out of my life. I've never experienced this in my life until recently, like in the past, like maybe 2 years, that I've had like friendship breakups. And I've just been really honest with guys about like, hey, you actually just don't align with me. You know, I had a horrible experience with this guy.
Yeah.
And I just was like, I could let this continue and keep trusting, or I could completely cut this relationship off. The second I cut it off, I went to Burning Man and I met all these people that I totally align with, you know?
Yeah.
I think there's so much power in cutting ties with people that do not belong in your life, because you need to have room for other people. If you want this magical partner to come up into your life, you have to cut off your toxic ex.
Yeah,
you know?
you have
because
to.
if I'm gonna meet a guy and he's still talking to his toxic ex, I don't want someone like that. But like, if I'm still talking to my ex or someone in my life, like, that's not fair. Like, do I really expect someone to come into my life and be okay with that? You know?
And I love that, because everyone, like, it feels like everyone has like a bucket of their capacity to like hold energy from other people. And then the moment you put your toxic ex, or even just your ex, like,
I want to say that again. I want to say toxic relationship, maybe. Or just a relationship that was misaligned.
Yeah, because
I don't want to put the blame on them. Because if you're with a toxic person, you're probably a little toxic too.
Yeah, you're choosing into it. You've got wounds. Like, we both have wounds. But, like, past relationship, it's like, if I'm keeping a partner in my life and keeping old friendships that don't serve me in my life, they take up a certain amount of volume. And they arguably take up more volume when it's not aligned, because it's just like, oh, this is not, like, conducive to my life. This isn't adding to my life. This is kind of draining me. And then the moment you pour the bucket out and it's empty, like, other energy starts coming in. You're like, oh my gosh.
Even having this conversation with you gives me so much life. It's so expansive for me. Now I'm realizing I'm at this point in my life, I only want relationships that make me feel expansive, whether that's friendship, romantic relationships, relationships with family, because we don't have to be stuck and, like, be with people that are just draining us.
No,
you know,
that's a belief that you have, that it's like, well, I have to because this. I'm like, who said? Every partner that you've been with, you don't have to stay with them. People view divorce and leaving as the worst thing. I'm like, if it's not serving you and you're trying to grow and they're not, or you're growing in different ways, or you just don't align anymore, like, it's okay to let go. I think our world and people have the biggest fear of letting go. That's number one above, I think, everything else. It's like, I don't like change. And I'm like, but why? Like, staying the same and keeping relationships that don't align brings you down every single time. It never brings you up. And we're all meant to change. Like, literally since kids, we all start to change, and we continue to change. Our brains change, our emotions change, our energies change, our beliefs change, our thoughts change. Like, we have to change. It's literally a part of life. It's a part of being human. And resistance, if we resist change, it becomes not good. Like, it becomes really hard to live life. And the moment you just let go and let change happen and let friends come and go, it's like, I still have friends for the friends that, like, or I still have love for the friends that have left my life and that I let go of. Doesn't mean I hate them or that they're a bad person or anything. It's just, hey, we're not fully aligned today.
Yeah, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Totally fine.
Oh yeah, and they'll probably be okay with it too. Like, if we tried to force it,
like they need different people in their life. That's what I've had to realize. Like, friendships that haven't felt aligned, that's not just for my side, that's for their side too. Like, they probably have different lessons and even more joy they need to feel that they can feel from other people besides me. And that's okay. It doesn't have to be this horrible, sad, scary thing. I love them enough too to just, like, let them go.
And my ego, if I keep it in check of, oh, well, they need me, I'm like, they don't need, they'll be okay. Other people are going to come in. There are other people that can love someone.
And if we're supposed to realign, we'll realign.
We will,
which is beautiful.
That's trust.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I trust that if this is meant to actually work. And that was my last relationship. It was like, look, it feels like this is not supposed to be right now. And I trust that if it was supposed to be, it would happen. So we have to let go. We can't hold on and be like, but what if that doesn't happen? I'm like, then it's not meant to be.
And I think we've had a similar experience where, like, almost every relationship I've ever been in, I've had this feeling of, like, this isn't it, this isn't it, this isn't it. And then I get in my head of, am I ever going to feel like this is it? But I think that it is going to be so powerful. Like, you hear people all the time say, when you know, you know. But also, when you know, it's not right. Like, it's not right. Like, and I've known, and I haven't fully trusted myself, which I don't regret any of my relationships, anything I've ever been in. I don't regret any love I've given. I don't regret any harm I've just taken on, because it just taught me. But now I'm at this point where I have learned my lesson. Like, I'm not just going to be in a relationship with someone because it kind of feels like maybe. That's not the vibe anymore. I'm not doing that anymore. It's the amount of energy that takes for me, even if it's not even if it's a good person, but it's just not the right person for me. Like, it's taken years of my life. Okay, I want to talk to you about ways that we are dating ourselves right now. I think one way that has come up for me a lot is having hard conversations with myself. Even I had an experience with you a couple hours ago that I was like, oh, Josh, like, I wanted to say to you, like, hey, I need you to hold me accountable with this. But I was like, no, I actually have to hold myself accountable with this one. You know, Josh isn't going to save me. You have a million times before, and you still will. You'll still help me. But I need to have confidence in myself that I can make a decision and stick to it and be strong in that decision. You know?
And not out of, to your point of, like, someone else holding you accountable, sometimes is like, well, I don't want to feel like shame for going back when I told them that I was going to not go back. But when you do it for yourself, You're just like, okay, I'm not going to shame myself. I'm just going to be like, dude, you deserve better.
Yeah.
And I'm doing this because I believe that I deserve better.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not doing this out of fear.
Yeah. And another thing that I've been thinking too is like, if I was going on a date with my dream partner at 6 p.m. today, I would not do, that would be the most important thing for me. So like if I have a date to go to bed at 10 p.m. tonight, but someone invites me to go do something, and I'm like, oh, I know I have to wake up tomorrow early, and I know that 8 hours of sleep is necessary for me right now. I'm going to go get the 8 hours of sleep because I love myself, just in the way that I would show up for that date. You know, and the way that I would leave that conversation because I know I need to leave, or like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm really practicing showing up for myself the way that I would show up for that partner, or the way I would expect them to show up for me. I 100% want to be with someone that's doing the same thing, that's putting themselves first, that's disciplined, that for all the right reasons. Like, that's so attractive to me. That is like the most attractive thing to me, because selfishly, I know they're going to treat me that way too. They're going to put me first in those ways, which is so exciting.
Yeah, because there's like a line where some people are like, oh no, I'm not going to do anything for my partner because it is all about me. And it's like, okay, there's a balance between showing love to yourself and then showing up for your partner. But like, you do have to come first. You can't abandon yourself for your partner, or else you will get lost, even if you're in a relationship or married. And
I think the healthiest relationships honestly force you to date yourself even more. Don't you kind of think? Because I've only been in a super healthy relationship for a very short time. And that relationship, I learned more about myself than I did in any other relationship. Because when you're in a toxic relationship, from both ends, because that's how it is, when you're in that relationship, you are so focused on fixing them and helping them that you can't even focus on yourself. When you're in a healthy relationship, you have to face yourself.
Yeah.
So I think us dating ourselves is really preparing us to face ourselves even more in a relationship with someone that mirrors us and brings out our triggers, because it's healthy and we get to face ourselves instead of constantly thinking how they can be better. You know what I mean?
And not expecting them to just solve all of your problems.
Yes.
And that's what a great relationship is like, my partner fills all my holes. They like fix all my problems. It's like, no, they just hold space and sit there and love me while I heal me, and I do me, and I love me. Like, someone who's just like, hey, it's okay to date yourself. It's okay to like go take time for you, which for a lot of partners, that's hard. They're like, oh, well, I'm going to feel like you're pulling away if you go take time for you. And a partner that's like, no, you seem like you're dealing with a lot. You're overwhelmed. Like, go date yourself, essentially. Like, and for me, I'd be like, okay, I know how to date myself. I've done this.
Yeah.
I'm going to go read. I'm going to go up in the mountains and go on a hike and sit by a waterfall. I'm going to have a hard conversation with myself and genuinely ask myself the hard questions like, hey, how am I showing up? What am I dealing with? What am I feeling? Do I want to numb out? What's making me want to numb out? And then just sitting with that and not being like, oh my gosh, my partner could fix all this if I just like hung out and watched TV with her and had sex with her and this and this and this. It's like, no, she's not going to save me. I need to show up for me.
Yeah.
And those ways that you can date yourself, I think for so many people are going to be the best things that they can do in life. You have kids, guess what? You still have to date yourself. Every parent, I'm not a parent. I guarantee every parent's going to agree with that. Because it's like, yes, your kids need you, but you need you. Mm-hmm. And if you lose you, your kids lose you. That's what most people don't realize. And my parents lost themselves. And for me, I was like, I don't have parents. I didn't feel like I had parents because they didn't know themselves. They didn't love themselves. And I see parents that do love themselves, and I'm like, dude, those kids are lucky.
Powerful.
Those kids are lucky. Like, you know, their parents are trying the best. Having a solid parent that has their own back and a solid partner that has their own back is like, when shit gets hard, I know you have you. And it's not like, oh my gosh, Josh, save me. And I'm like, I don't want to save my partner either. Like, I want to be like, no, she's good.
It's tempting.
It is.
To like
it is
be
tempting.
That, but it's
because then
not,
they need you. It's like I wouldn't
really,
be able to survive without you. And I'm like,
neither of you will ever be fulfilled. I feel like if you're just constantly saving each other, because you really have, the way that we find fulfillment is saving ourselves. I really do believe.
Yeah, and we're the one person that cannot leave ourselves throughout our entire lives.
Yeah.
Like, we're always
only person we'll ever be with 24/7 for the rest of our lives.
Yeah. So I'm like, build the best relationship with you first. Your second best relationship should be with your partner. And then obviously once you have kids, those relationships should all be up there, but you have to come first. Everyone knows, like, the moment you start abandoning yourself, life starts to lose purpose, love disappears, presence disappears, you become exhausted, you become so disconnected from all things good. And then the moment you reconnect with yourself, magic happens and you're like, love exists, peace exists, beautiful things exist. And it's literally all you. Like you are in the essence of what you said earlier, you are the portal to the beautiful life that you want. Your life goes through you. You can't take a different path. It literally has to go through you.
I saw a post, Doug Cartwright shared it to a story the other day. It was like true Zen. Everyone thinks true Zen is when you're like meditating in a field of flowers. But true Zen is when you can be like at peace with yourself while there's a fire and destruction and war going on all around you, because you have built that peace within yourself. No matter what is going on in your life, you can return to that. And that's how I feel. Like any crazy thing that goes on in my life, I used to have breakdowns, absolutely just sobbing, dry heaving. Like I haven't done that in a while because I'm so much more comfortable with myself, and I'll just sit with myself and hold myself, that I don't get to that point anymore. And it's beautiful.
It's funny. I had a situation yesterday. My property management company literally texted me and they're like, you owe all this money. And I was like, no, I don't. And they're like, we're going to evict you if you don't pay it in 3 days. And I was like, okay, even if you did, I was like, I've got me. Like I could literally go live on the street right now and I'd be chilling because I have me. And like the more I build that relationship, it's like, you can take away my home, you can take away my money, you can take away my cars, you can even take away my relationship, but I will still have me. And if my partner left or died, and I died with her, then I never had me to begin with. Like a partner leaves and it's like, I'm not going to be okay. Life's pointless. I'm like, so you don't have you. But the moment you have you, it's like partner leaves. Even if they're your dream partner, they can leave or say, I'm not interested, or like I fell out of love or whatever. Or they could die and it'd be like, that sucks. But like, how did I live life before them? I still loved, I still showed up for me, I still showed up in the world, I still went out and experienced things that were beautiful to me. And I'm going to continue to do that. I'm not going to stop because someone else's life happened. And I think people just get so caught up in that. And like, my life revolves upon someone else. I'm like, no, dude, make your life about you. Like, and it's okay to be selfish in that regard. Like, do what you're passionate about. Do what makes you happy, do what brings you peace, but also try to grow for you. Like I'm just having this realization. If you were your own kid and you were looking up at you, what would you want? Would you be like, I want to make my kid proud of me. I want to show them that like I am growing and changing. For me, if I was looking at my dad had been loving himself and giving himself what he needed and like took time for him, my whole life would have been different. Everything would have been different. Like I would have looked at him as my hero, and I didn't. My dad was never my role model. I had no role models, I think, because my example was not good.
It makes me sad right now because you're very open about this, but your like dad committed suicide like a couple of years ago.
3 years ago,
3 years ago. And it makes me sad because he was never your hero, and he also was never his own hero. You know? Like he was never that for himself, and look where it led, which is so sad. It's so sad.
Yeah, I had an experience after he died with like his soul, his spirit, whatever you want to call it, and we got to talk. It was in a cannabis like meditation. I was like 5-year-old me, and I was in this like beautiful, beautiful green grove. It was like the most peaceful place I really
Joseph Smith.
The sacred grove, some would call it. No, it felt sacred. Like when people talk about the sacred grove, I was like, if there was a feeling to a sacred grove, it was that place. And I like show up there and I'm 5 and I just look up and I see my dad. And it was the first time I had ever like connected with him post him taking his life. And I just see all of the pain gone from his eyes. And he just like grabs my hand and we start walking. And he's like, I wish I could have shown you that I loved you. And me in that moment was like, I always knew you loved me. Like, even though you couldn't show it, like deep down, I always knew. And I wish I would have gotten to experience it. But like now looking back, even on that experience, I just look at him and I'm like, I wish you could have loved yourself the way that you love other people.
Yeah.
Like even in that moment, he's like, yeah, I want you to know that I love you. And I was like, no, I know. And I love you too. but I wish he could come back and I could just be like, just love yourself that same way. I would have loved to watch my dad walk about life loving himself. He was an amazing guy. He hurt me deeply in a lot of ways, and he was not a present dad at all, but he had so much love and kindness in his heart. I think I was probably one of his biggest triggers, to be honest, knowing how much different his life would be if he had just tried to love himself. And that was one of the last conversations. That was the last conversation I ever had with him, was him loving himself. We had taken mushroom and we were chatting, and he was like, this is really peaceful. And I was like, you know, you can experience this like in your day-to-day life, right? And I was like, what do you do for you? And he was like, nothing. Like, everything I do is for my partner, to make her happy. And that just like shattered my heart. I was like, Dad, you should go on walks. You should come sit at the park when you have time. You should do things that bring you peace for you, not for her.
It's crazy because we do this. We search for this happiness in other people doing this. This is going to bring me the happiness. We're always searching outside of ourselves when really the happiness comes from inside.
Yeah.
That's the only place we can genuinely ever feel full. You know what I mean?
And partnership, like, it is the secret formula. The moment you start loving yourself, your relationships become what you dream about.
Yes.
You start receiving the love that you've always wanted and the partnership that you've always wanted. Because every person on this planet, if all of us want this beautiful relationship, we need our partners to love themselves. Like, if I looked at a partner and she was taking care of herself and didn't let me walk all over her or like do anything negative in like to just get something or to numb out or whatever it may be, and my partner like held boundaries but was brutally honest and still showed up in love and was kind, and then also took care of themselves, took time for themselves, said no to me, and they're like, yeah, I would love to see you, but I need to take time for me today. I would be like, yeah, that's hard, but like, yeah, I actually
hell yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
Okay.
I'm like, and especially when they're reassuring too, it's like, no, I'm taking time, but like, I would love to see you like tomorrow morning. That is beautiful.
And
yeah.
the expectations just set and just ready for you to go and not feel this anxiety. And like, it's making me think a lot about attachment styles, and the secure attachment style is really you becoming secure within yourself.
Yeah.
You know, it's not you becoming secure with another person. It's you becoming secure with you.
Yeah. If someone was like, hey, I'm going to take time, a secure attachment for yourself is like, okay, cool. Like, anxiety could come up, but that's mine, and I'll go sit with that while you are doing you. And I'm not going to project that onto you or our relationship. And then if someone leaves a relationship and leaves you, then it's like secure attachment is, oh, no, I'm good. I've got me. Like, clearly not aligned, even though they're lovely and like maybe I do want to be with them. I'm going to be okay. Everyone should strive for that, because the moment you have you, like, no one can take anything away from you. Like,
and I just want to like emphasize, this isn't super easy, but it is like a muscle. The more that you practice it, the stronger it gets and the easier it gets. I think we've both had experiences lately where we've kind of hit a little bit of a rock bottom, and we're so tempted to go right back into that.
Oh yeah.
You know, and you know, I have to a certain extent gone back into that, but it's all a journey. There's ups and the downs, and really the more that we practice this, the more magical life gets, because we are in control of life and life is no longer in control of us. Do you know what I mean? Like, I genuinely feel like the more I get to know myself, the more I sit with myself, the more control I'm able to have. So then I'm not just, life isn't happening to me anymore. Life is truly happening for me.
Yeah, you're in the driver's seat.
Yeah.
It's like, I'll surrender when I need to surrender.
Jesus is not taking the wheel anymore. I'm taking the wheel, you know?
It's like, my inner Jesus is taking the wheel, and Jesus is like, yo, it's about, because even Jesus is like, dude, this is about you.
Yes.
But people misconstrued it and was like, oh, it's all about Jesus. I'm like, no, it's not. Jesus is just a representation of what it looks like. Yeah.
Yes.
To love yourself and walk about life where like no one can take that from you. And they're like, okay, we're going to kill you. And he's like, cool. I've got me.
Literally.
I'm like, I'm not stressing. Like,
we've got so much to learn from our guy. In my first ayahuasca journey, one of my biggest lessons was about Jesus Christ, because our whole life growing up Mormon, it's like, become like Jesus. Jesus, give everything to Jesus. In the name of Jesus Christ, everything. Everything's Jesus. And I had this huge experience with Jesus, or the energy of Jesus or whatever, that was like, Jesus didn't want us to worship him. Jesus wanted us to worship ourselves.
Yeah.
And I fully believe that. Not in an ego way, and not in an unhealthy, prideful way, but in a, holy shit, I'm beautiful. Oh my God, God or the universe or wherever I came from created me to be me. My life is exactly what it is supposed to be if I lean into it. I wonder if you feel this way. I'm sure you do. Every little thing that happens for me in my life, this is why I've written that note page in my phone, the universe knows me.
Yeah.
Everything that happens, I'm like, oh, this is so catered for me. Even your house is so beautiful and so cozy. I'm like, this is for me. I believe everything in my life now is for me. Every experience is happening for me. And it's so beautiful.
And all my experiences are happening for me.
Yeah.
And the universe is so magical because it's somehow interwoven. All of our experiences where they're so about you.
It doesn't even make sense. That's why it's magic.
I know. I'm like, you literally can't logically draw it up and be like, okay, how do all these events and things and moments and people come into Jenna's life, but also my life is magically happening outside of you, but we also get to cross paths and be magic in each other's lives. It doesn't make sense, and that's why it's magic.
Yeah.
Like, you cannot get to the base of it with science or with anything else. It's literally just like...
And I think the more you resist the magic, the sadder your life gets, you know?
Yeah.
You got to lean into the magic. Josh and I are just so similar, and we're so passionate about helping people. And Josh has a club called the Good Intentions Club, and they do yoga in the park in Salt Lake City at Sugar House Park every Sunday at 11. But what are you doing for winter?
We're going to go inside. We're going to do more like internal, like cozy vibe.
Cool.
So it'll be a mix of like breathworks, meditations, like yin yoga, and more connection, more vulnerability.
Cool.
And then just more connecting things like an open mic.
And it's free.
Yeah, everything's free.
Donation based if you want to donate.
Yeah, if you can't pay, you can come regardless, like
Bring
always.
Some snacks. And he has my favorite electrolytes that he's created, all natural. They're literally my favorite.
Electrolytes are great.
And I'm really sensitive, and I don't like a lot of things because it gives me a headache if I like put stuff in my water.
Yeah, same.
My favorite electrolytes. You can find them on Amazon.
They fund everything.
Yes. Yeah, yeah.
So when you buy the electrolytes, it creates community for people who don't have anything or anyone. So like people that end up committing suicide, the number one theme for me that always came back was like loneliness and isolation, because humans are built for connection. And for me, I'm like, if I can use my marketing and sales knowledge and experience to go create beautiful products that are like clean on the body, and the money from that can give connection to people who are like truly dying on the inside, then I would do that over and over and over. And like, it allows me to keep the events free so no one can get priced out. No one is priced out of human connection and community. And to me, that is like the most important part. I just want people to have one place to go where they don't have to be anyone or have any amount of money.
And anyone can come. It doesn't matter how old you are. Like sometimes there's kids there. There's like parents, older people, grandparents sometimes.
Yeah, we had a guy in a wheelchair show up. We have so many different people come.
I've met some of my best friends there.
Yeah. Literally pretty much all my best friends.
My favorite thing is when someone says to me, "Hey, Jenna, there's this like yoga in the park thing. Do you want to come with me?"
that text you sent me.
I'm like, so actually my very best friend throws that. Yes, I'll be there.
Yeah. Oh, that really makes my day.
I know. It's so amazing. And Josh, you just are such a genuine soul, and I just love you so much. And I'm so
I feel the same. That's why we're friends.
Yeah, that's why we're friends. I was thinking it's crazy. I've had like friends coming out of my life. You've literally always been there.
I know. That's when I know deep friendship like is a friendship that can continue on. Is like, okay, I could not talk to you for a while, and the moment I see you, no time has passed. I'm like, Jenna, I just love you regardless.
Yeah.
Like, and you have.
And somehow we're always kind of on the same wavelength.
You'll disappear, or I'll disappear, and then we come back, and it's like, wait, you're experiencing that?
Yeah.
I'm experiencing that.
It's so
I'm
cool.
Like, oh, sick. Which is beautiful.
And I think the more you align with your true self, the more you'll find people like that in your life.
And soul people, like soul friends, for me, are the people that like we ebb and flow away from each other and then back close and then away.
It's secure. It's like, oh, I know Josh still loves me. I know Josh would never talk shit on me. I know Josh is always there for me.
I know when I see you, it's love.
Yeah.
And that's all I care about. And even with vulnerability, of like wanting to just make vulnerability a normalized thing is in and of itself one of the most beautiful things, because so many people can say like, vulnerability, and then like actually just being open and being like, this is just how it is.
It's scary.
Yeah, this is just it.
There's things I've noticed. Like I've noticed I'm a little bit avoidant in relationships. Like I don't really like cuddling with my girlfriends or like hugging them. But I've realized it's a lesson for me. It's an opportunity for me to like receive that and love that,
Yeah, I felt that with my guy friends. This should be so normalized. Like, why can't I show love in that regard?
Yeah.
Like, if you would do it to a kid or your own kid, why wouldn't you do it to your friends? deep down, they're all just little kids too. We're all just trying to be loved the way that we wanted to be loved as children.
Okay, wait, my question I want to ask you is, I always ask everyone, if you could have everyone in the world understand one thing, what would it be?
I mean, that love is the answer, but that's...
No, it's beautiful.
Yeah, no, there's like so many other things that I'd be like, well, that's also important too.
But it all comes back to
But
that.
it all comes, like, for me, I think that's the one thing, like, that is my life motto that will never change, no matter how many realizations I have, no matter how much awareness comes in. It's always like, if I trace all of these things down to one thing, I'm always like, it's love. Like,
Damn, I love that.
we're either, all of our problems, typically, pretty much all of them, I always trace back to like a lack of love. Like, oh, I have this pattern of doing this, this, and this. And it's like, there's a good chance that you weren't loved fully as a child. Because if you were, the desire to numb out is probably not going to be there. Like, we, as kids, we all started numbing out because we weren't receiving love. And then as adults, we all start searching for it. It's literally like, we all knew we wanted it as children. Then we become adults and it's like, oh, I don't really know what I want, but all of our actions typically point us towards love. Like, a lot of us have sex to get a glimpse of the intimacy of love. And then we want relationships because we know it gets us closer to love. A lot of us, and I would say most people on this planet, don't know how to like actually get there. It's like, it seems like this mystery. Like, love is this myth that we just talk about in movies and books. And it's something that doesn't actually exist. It's like, oh, true love, I don't believe in that.
Wait, okay, sorry, I just have to say this. I like save pins every day on Pinterest to like manifest my dream life. And I have been noticing that so many Disney quotes are coming up for me. And like about magic and believing in yourself and like Pocahontas and like trust and all these things. And I'm like, oh wait, like this magic is real. Like they were so onto something with all this.
Yeah, whoever created Disney movies was tapped in. Even if they themselves were not experiencing like complete presence and love, they believe in love. And they're like, we're going to tell a story about the magic of life and of love. And we're going to try and tell it in a way that people can understand. But like, when you see it in a movie, it seems so real. It's like, oh, they just did this thing. Like, they forgave that person, or they surrendered, or they let go. They let go of this hard relationship or whatever. And then in came this beautiful love.
They trusted.
Yeah. And they like had hard conversations and they like went through hard shit. It wasn't just this
They
easy
believed
life.
in a Prince Charming, you know?
Yeah. And then they meet Prince Charming and there's still hardship. It's like, well, this happened and this. And then they finally break through and they get to experience love. And it's just like this beautiful moment where everyone's like, I want that.
Yes.
That's why movies are so popular. That's why stories are so beautiful.
But like, we can't just keep trying to live through them. We can
no,
also live our own
I
fantasy.
know. People don't believe it.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, that's just in the movies. Like, that's a phrase that people use. It's just in the movies. Like, I'm never going to experience that. And I'm like,
I
why
hear
not?
people say like, oh, movies created this unrealistic expectation for us. But I don't think it's actually that unrealistic.
No, that's a belief.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's the other thing. Like, love is the answer. But the other thing is like, your beliefs literally make up your world. Like, your reality is not, there's a shared reality, but even then, your beliefs and your reality are like a bubble. So you get to create whatever goes on in that bubble, and you get to believe whatever you want, and life will reflect that. And so if you believe magic is real, which both of us have, and both of us didn't for a long time, it's crazy because we started to experience magic.
My life is magical. Don't you feel like, I genuinely feel like my life is so magical. It's so cool.
100%. The fact that I live here and I'm having conversations like this, and I've experienced a loving relationship and presence and beautiful sacred sex and all these things, old me was like, that's not real, but deep down, I hope it is.
Yeah.
Because I would love to experience that. And me now, I'm like, I wish I could go back to 12-year-old Josh and be like, hey, my dude, it's
real,
all
bro.
real. Like, just hold on and like, don't resist.
Yeah.
Don't resist when things come your way. Like,
and
life
just
is gonna
live
get
in
beautiful.
trust. Like, that is my biggest theme right now. Live in trust, because you have two choices. Live in fear or live in trust. Literally, it's a decision, you know? And it directs your entire life.
And if you make decisions out of fear, it never goes the right way. Like, if you try to create abundance out of fear, abundance isn't created in fear or scarcity. It's created in trust and love. And I've seen it happen over and over, like for a long time with money. I was like, oh, I need to do this thing just because like I don't have enough and things aren't going to work out. And the moment I just stopped and I just trusted, I was like, things are going to work out. Money just poured in. I didn't even do anything. Like, if that's not magic, I don't know what is. I was literally doing the exact same thing, but replaced fear with trust, and everything switched. And I'm like, that's magic. I'm sorry. And magic happens all the time.
Yeah.
Like, trusting in the universe.
Totally. This is just one magical experience I had recently or just like the universe knows me, is listening. All right, I said this prayer the other day, which I don't ever do, but I just said this prayer to the universe or God or whatever. Like, anything that is keeping me from reaching my highest self or any person, like, please remove them from my life. I don't know if you saw, like, this thing with Taylor Frankie Paul happened, and she unfollowed me on Instagram and blasted me on social media and said no one listens to my podcast and all this stuff. And I think I'm so okay with myself right now, in such a good relationship with myself. I was like, oh shit, okay. Like, guess that was supposed to happen, you know?
Yeah.
Like, but it was like the biggest, whoa, the universe really is like working in my favor for whatever reason. Like, I'm just not supposed to have that relationship anymore. And that's okay. You know, and just to be like, okay, yeah, like, I prayed for this. So, okay, I'm going to move forward and I'm just going to trust.
And it could, like, it's so funny because moments like that also can have such a beautiful silver lining, where a lot of people would see it and be like, oh, that's all this negative energy. And I'm like, potentially even just her mentioning it, like, could bring a lot of energy to you. And if you reciprocate that energy with negativity, you're calling in more negative energy. But if you just continue to show up in love, then, like, you're going to attract positive energy.
Yeah.
And
totally.
like, you are doing you. You're not changing yourself to, like, fight energy. You're not trying to fight that negativity. It's just like, that's okay that you think that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to keep doing me because that's who I am.
And she like made a dig at my podcast. Like, no one listens to your podcast. And I literally, in my head, first thought was like, well, I listen to my podcast. I fucking love my podcast.
Yeah, I'm like, and are you doing it for listeners, or are you doing it because you love it?
Yeah, and like, I love it.
If one person listened and got something from it, it would be beautiful. If that
person is me, you know?
Yeah, especially you. Yeah,
yeah,
like, these conversations, I'm like, no one needs to watch this. I feel so elevated from this conversation.
Yeah, totally.
That we could literally just not even post it, and it would be a positive benefit to both of our lives.
Totally.
But then it also could benefit other people. And someone who's struggling with something that we talk about, if they walk away and feel like changing their life, or it uplifts them, or it gives them even just a little bit of hope or belief that love is real, that they can change, that magic is real, I'm like, it's all worth it. I had a girl this past week, and sometimes I'm like, okay, yeah, there's a lot of people that come and it's beautiful. And she came, and it was one of the few times that I've actually been, like, very vulnerable. When I'm speaking in front of everyone, and I was like, yeah, I preach vulnerability, but, like, I have this opportunity to be vulnerable in front of so many people that matter to me, and I'm not. So I did, and this girl comes up after, and she was like, I was planning on taking my life last week. And she's like, this club, and even just hearing you, like, be vulnerable about what you're going through, she's like, this gives me hope.
Wow.
And so she just gave me a big hug, and she was like, I'm so grateful you created this. And that's one person. Literally just one person, and it's a beautiful thing. So when people knock things that are inherently positive, like, what you're doing is a beautiful thing, and it does bring good to people's lives. I'm grateful for what you're doing.
Oh, thank you. It means a lot to me. Well, thank you for coming on. Can't wait for our next episode.
Same.
And I always end in the name of vulnerability. Amen.
In the name of vulnerability, amen.